Eyes are useless when the mind is blind. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So, what are we looking at today with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? Bloodbath yesterday, right? I mean, wow, that came out of nowhere. I was trying to enjoy Sunday fun day, and let me tell you, it was a little rough after looking at the 10% dip in Bitcoin, followed by, you know, as people sit there and they like to say all this stuff about how these altcoins are going to overtake Bitcoin and that, you know, they're going to break free. Once Bitcoin takes a dip, they all go with it and there ain't no stopping it, right? So, I mean, we're getting all kinds of different reports on why this could possibly be. But, all right, let me stop looking at myself. Let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. Let's see what we got going on. We got Samantha hanging out here today. Say good morning, Samantha. Let everyone know you're here.
Hi, everybody.
All right, let's refresh this because it's changing every minute. All right, so let me see. We're coming in at $6,783 at the moment. That's down 6.6%. I mean, yeah, it hurts. I mean, nobody can be happy about losing this much value in their Bitcoin. You know, you just got to hold strong through these times. All right, so we got the market cap dipping below the $300 billion mark. I mean, ouch, that's a little low. We got a decent amount of a trading volume, 19.6 billion traded in the last 24 hours. And we got the BTC dominance picking up a little bit. That's always a plus. You know, a lot of people say that's part of this correction is to flush out some of the excess money that's in the altcoins and get BTC back its dominance. Whether or not that's true, you know, it's a matter of opinion. Coming in at 39.1%. We got Ethereum. They had the $600 mark yesterday, but man, they lost it. Down to $531. That's down 6.8% as well. Coming down, we got Ripple at 58 cents. That's down 7.1%. We got Bitcoin Cash at 774. That's down 9.4%. So we got EOS here. Let me see, $11.11. That's quite the hit there at 16%. A lot of people said that they kind of expected this as we've seen the mainnet go ahead and launch. A lot of voting is in process right now. We got Litecoin coming in at $107. That's down 5.8%. And we got Stellar coming in at 25 cents. That's down 6.5%. Cardano coming in at 17.2 cents. That's down 10.4%. Ouch. Right. You know, you got to stay positive. You got to remember why you got here into the cryptocurrency market. You know, all right, let me see. We got Steam. They're down 13%. You could, I mean, that's hurting me, of course, too. That's down to $1.81 there. And let me see. What do we got going on with the Steam back dollar? Refresh it because this keeps dropping too. Coming in at $1.40. That's down 10.4%. He watched Crypto's video yesterday. He was talking about something that I also have personally used quite a few times, which is the Steam back dollar. It's supposed to be a metrics that's, you know, it's not necessarily pegged to the $1, but it's supposed to be, especially on their platform of going ahead and trading Steam back dollars for Steam. You know, you wouldn't use it if it's over $1 because you're just losing money. You know, we're getting closer and closer. I mean, I think I seen it at the $15 high. I mean, that was so nice when you guys were giving me those Steam back dollars and the price was way up there like that. I mean, it's obvious at this point that the cryptocurrency market was overbloated and needs to come back down. You know, whether or not we reach the bottom, I mean, you got to shake a magic 8-ball at this point because we thought we had seen it already, and here we are dipping back down to the lows. I mean, supposedly we've lost a 50% value already in the network across. Oh, here, let me help you, Samantha. Turn this computer around for you. Oh, and I'm dropping my notes. All right. So, you know, what is the problem? Well, the problem is that you don't know when the high is coming in, and you don't in an app on my phone yet that's going to jingle. It's hit the all-time low. It's time to buy, and I don't have the app to jingle and tell me when Bitcoin's reached its all-time high and tell me it's time to sell. So, I mean, I got to buy all the way down. So, I mean, I tell you guys I buy on the dips. Yeah, I bought some Bitcoin. I mean, you know, because I've been in it so long, yes, a majority of my Bitcoin is still profitable. But yeah, I bought Bitcoin that's underwater at this point, you know, and in the red. It's not an amazing feeling. But hey, I don't know when the bottom's coming in. So I'm going to buy all the way down because the 2020 halving is still coming. Bitcoin is still sound technology. Has changed with that at all. All right. So, I mean, what do we got going on with the news? We got that Ethereum. I mean, we're starting to hear a lot about their scaling. This is on the toes of, EOS's mainnet launching. So I don't know if this is them just trying to make sure that they don't, lose a lot of their funding and, people hopping chains and going over to EOS. They're looking that they might be, putting the brakes a little bit on Casper, which is for the proof of stake, and putting a little more, efforts into sharding, which is the proof of work. We heard that staking maybe dropped from 1,500 Ethereum down to 35. Time's gonna tell with this stuff. I mean, you're always hearing so much news. There's always so many people going on and saying stuff about this, about Ethereum and the scaling, and we're always hearing out of Vitalik. It's that we got to see it before we believe it, right? Because this has been the next big hurdle with Ethereum, is whether or not they can get over the scaling that they have going on. All right, so are we going to be seeing red? I mean, is this market going to drop any lower? I mean, I wish I would have known yesterday. I would have went to USD and bought back in today just for the 10% gain. Most of us would have. It's that we don't know that that's going to happen before it happens. We're looking at two possible case scenarios on if this is what, promoted the selling here to cause this. We got Coin Rally, or CoinRail. It's a South Korean exchange. They're looking at a situation. They got hacked from some of these smaller coins. I don't know what these are. NPXS. I got PUDIX and ASTON. These are supposedly the tokens that were used for the hack. They went ahead, they're frozen. They've done some callbacks. They've frozen the entire exchange while the investigation gets going. They didn't go ahead and give out a number on how much was stolen, but some investigation has led to the address that they're saying the hacked funds went to, and they're looking at about $40 million worth of stolen funds in it. They're saying that they were able to safely secure about 70% of their funds and put it into a cold wallet storage. I mean, this is the same stuff we're always hearing about, right? I mean, that's why they're saying that, $1.1 billion has been hacked already this year. And I mean, this number is only going to be a continuing growing number as we continue to move forward into the cryptocurrency space. And this stuff is continuously adopted by, soon to be merchants and major corporations and hedge funds. It's who's storing this stuff. How secure is it? How trusted are these third parties? Are they just, in it trying to make a quick buck, not really securing it the way that it needs to be? That's why you got to get a hardware wallet. That's why you got to protect your own funds. All right. The other thing is that the CFTC, they're doing their criminal probe into whether or not there's been some market manipulation happening. They sent out some mandatory request forms to a few of the top exchanges. This got people leery of whether or not, what the fallout from the situation is going to be. Not necessarily worried about it in any way personally. I mean, the hack on the exchange doesn't bother me either, because once again, I have a hardware wallet. So is this temporary FUD in the market? Fingers crossed for that for sure. I mean, of course, we got Tone Vays out there calling for technical analysis, sending this even lower. You can always listen to the conspiracy theory people out there talking about Bitcoin going all the way down to like 1K or 1,500. Nothing's changed with me, right? I'm still sitting here. I mean, yeah, it sucks. I mean, what can I say? I'm going to be honest. It sucks. I'm not real happy about it. But am I going to sell? No. What am I going to do? I mean, I don't have any more cash to be buying any more Bitcoin, so I can't take advantage of this dip. Would I if I could? I don't know. We keep seeing these dips. Whether or not it's going to continue along and dip a little lower, it's a time to hodl, right? It's a time to see if you can actually go out there and earn some cryptocurrency, because you'll be earning even more than what you were earning before. Try to take advantage of the dip that way if you're, working in the markets to see what you got going on. So we got EOS, right? Their mainnet went ahead and launched. I watched that. I was able to pay attention to it a little bit better. It looked like it went up pretty well. I mean, I know that the voting is in process right now. The next concerns is, who's voting, whether or not this voting is centralized, all of this kind of stuff. So EOS is still on what's happening. I think I had read somewhere that they're hoping that the voting should be done in the next 24 to 48 hours. So, keep our fingers crossed on that going amazing and us gaining EOS. I personally don't at the moment. Still waiting for this mainnet to get going on Binance and them to have transfer and withdrawals, so then they believe that the network's secure. Then I might go ahead and pick some up. Hopefully, then maybe the price will drop a little lower on it by then. All right, so what do we got going on, Samantha? Is there anybody hanging out in the chat, or am I ranting on the internet again, as I tend to do?
We got quite a lot of people. We have Nick. We have
Hey,
James
everybody. Thanks for joining me for a cup of coffee this Monday morning. I know it's not what you want to be going on this Monday morning looking at so much red, but hey, you got to have the down to have the ups. You know, these are the times where if you've been sitting on the sidelines, you buy back in. I don't really want to be thinking that Bitcoin's going to go much lower. I mean, we've seen it down here before and it turned back around. You know, technical analysis can tell you a lot of different things, but at the same time, this is a completely speculative market that's based on, you know, what people feel it's going to do in the future. How can you technically analyze that, right? Anybody asking any questions, or are we just getting a bunch of good mornings?
They're just talking about the dip and talking about like if it's a time to buy, you know, or not.
You know, that was the one I had received some emails on that one on whether or not to buy this dip. You know, I'm not going to actually, because I've been saying to buy these dips, and I guess if you had taken my advice and bought every single one of these dips across the last 6 months, you know, you really wouldn't have been doing all that great. Like, yeah, you would have been buying and it wouldn't be too far underwater considering we're a little under 7,000 and most of the dips were on the low 7. But, you know, if cryptocurrency goes down to $5,000, you really wish you wouldn't have bought right now. You would have wished you had waited to pick it up later. You know, whether or not it's going to go lower, I don't know. Like they always say, you know, the markets can stay irrational more than you can stay solvent. You know, it's like I said, you can't tell where the bottom is and you can't tell where the top is. So I'm just buying it and buying it and buying it. I know the 2020 halving's coming and nobody can manipulate or mess that one up. That's the whole point in deflationary. It's going to go up in value by then. I'm not going to go stick no more rent money in it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me out here on this Monday. You know, I'm staying positive. I hope you guys can stay positive too. You know, we'll get through this dip. If it's just another little dip, we'll move forward. As always, I got all kinds of tools, affiliation codes, all sorts of faucets and stuff like that. Hey, the faucets will be paying you more. That's a plus, right? There's always a pro side to these things. You just got to find the light to look at it and have a good perspective about the situation. But shoot me some emails. All right. I mean, that's mainly why I'm here. I love to get those emails from you guys. It's eugeneforest20@gmail.com. It's a free help desk service. I'm not out there charging 0.1 or 0.01 or anything like that for you to be able to ask me questions. And of course, we're going to have the Saturday live Q&A. That's been picking up quite nicely. So I definitely want to keep promoting that. I've been doing my shows at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, trying real hard to stick with it so it can help everybody get out here and, you know, get in the chat, because I find that as you guys communicate better with me through the chat, the channel continues to grow. We can work and operate better to be able to avoid these scams. So remember, you guys, keep your Bitcoin safe.